The August air was thick with a humid haze, but under the vast, open sky of Knebworth Park, the energy was electric. It was August 9, 1986, and for many in the crowd of over 120,000, this wasn't just another concert. It was a pilgrimage. It was the final stop on Queen's colossal magic tour, and the atmosphere hummed with a mix of celebration and a poignant, unspoken awareness that this might be the last time they'd see Freddie Mercury command a stage on this scale. The night was a whirlwind of glitter, sound, and raw emotion. Queen was in their element, a four-headed dragon of rock and roll fury. Brian May's guitar sang with both fire and sorrow. Roger Taylor's drums were a rhythmic thunder, and John Deacon's bass was the steady heartbeat of it all. But at the center of the storm was Freddie, dressed in his iconic yellow military jacket with the white trousers and the beat-up sneakers. He wasn't just a singer. He was a conductor of chaos, a master of ceremonies for a rock and roll revival.
He worked the crowd with a casual, almost effortless grace. He strutted, he posed, he played with the microphone stand like a lover, a weapon, a dancing partner. He led 'em through every soaring chorus, every heart-wrenching ballad, every thunderous anthem. Radio Gaga, a kind of magic, Bohemian Rhapsody. Each song was a chapter in a shared history. The crowd, a sea of faces stretching to the horizon, sang every word back to him, a deafening chorus of devotion. Among them was a young woman named Lily. She was 19, with a worn-out Queen t-shirt and eyes that shimmered with a love for music that bordered on a spiritual experience. She had saved for months to get her ticket. Knebworth wasn't just a concert for her. It was a promise she had made to herself years ago, a promise to witness the man whose voice had been the soundtrack to her most formative years. She was close to the front, pressed against the barrier. Her voice was raw, screaming the lyric to Love of My Life.
As the song ended, Freddie, in a moment of pure, unscripted spontaneity, walked to the edge of the stage. He held a hand out, a gesture of connection that felt intimate despite the massive scale of the venue. The security guards looked on, surprised, as he singled out Lily. "You," he said, his voice a playful growl, his eyes locking with hers. "Come on up here, darling." A gasp rippled through the crowd. Lily's heart pounded against her ribs. She couldn't believe it. With a little help from the security and a hand from Freddie himself, she was hoisted onto the stage, a tiny figure in a sea of legends. The lights hit her, and the whirl of the crowd momentarily deafened her. She stood there, frozen, staring at the man who had been a god to her for so long, now just a few feet away.
Freddie smiled, a warm, genuine smile that reached his eyes. "Well, look at you," he said, taking her hand. "Lost for words, are we?" Lily could only shake her head, tears welling in her eyes. I can't believe I'm here," she whispered, her voice trembling. "You're here, darling, and I'm here," he said, squeezing her hand reassuringly. "What's your name?" "Lily," she managed to say. "My name is Lily." "Lily," he repeated, a soft melody on his lips. "It's a beautiful name, a beautiful night, isn't it?" He then did something no one expected. He turned to the crowd, pulling Lily with him. He put an arm around her and held up his free hand, silencing the roar. The massive audience went quiet, a hushed anticipation falling over the park.
"Ladies and gentlemen," he announced, his voice carrying the effortless authority of a king addressing his subjects. "This is Lily. She's a Queen fan, and tonight she's with us on stage." The crowd erupted in a cheer, a wave of love washing over the stage. Lily felt a tremor run through her. She was standing next to Freddie Mercury in front of 120,000 people. It felt like a dream she would wake up from at any moment. Freddie looked at her, his expression softening. He saw the tears in her eyes and the raw, vulnerable joy on her face. He knelt down so he was closer to her level and spoke so only she could hear, but the microphones picked up every word, broadcasting the intimate moment to the thousands present.
"So, what brings you to our humble stage, Lily?" he asked, his voice gentle. Lily took a deep breath, trying to find the words. The emotion was overwhelming. I just wanted to say thank you, Freddie," she began, her voice cracking. He raised an eyebrow. "Thank you? For what, darling? You bought the ticket, didn't you?" He gave a little chuckle, trying to lighten the mood. "No, not for that," she said, shaking her head. "I mean, thank you for everything. For the music. For saving me." Freddie's playful smile faded. He looked at her intently, his sharp eyes searching hers. "Saving you." Lily's tears began to flow freely now, a mix of relief and sorrow. "My brother, his name was Tom. He loved you. He loved Queen more than anyone I know. We used to listen to A Day at the Races together all the time. He taught me to play the piano just like you." Her voice trembled. "A few years ago, he was in an accident, a car crash. It was terrible. He was only 17. I was a mess. I didn't know how to deal with it. I couldn't listen to music. I couldn't even stand to look at a piano. The house was so quiet without him." Freddie listened, his expression serious. The rock and roll showman was gone, replaced by a man who was listening with his whole heart. The audience watched in silence, completely captivated by the raw vulnerability on stage. "Then, one night, I found his old Walkman," Lily continued, a tear tracing a path down her cheek. "And his tape of A Kind of Magic. I put it on, and the first song was One Vision, and it was like he was there with me. The music filled the quiet. It brought back all the good memories. It didn't make the pain go away, but it made me feel like I wasn't alone. It made me feel like there was still hope." She looked at him, her eyes pleading with him to understand. "And then I listened to Who Wants to Live Forever, and it made me think about him and about how he's not here, but his memory is. And I listened to Friends Will Be Friends, and it made me think about all the times we spent together, and how he was my best friend. Your music, it was the only thing that could reach me. It was like a hand reaching out in the dark." She squeezed his hand, her voice a broken whisper. I know you don't know me, and you don't know him, but you saved me, Freddie. You brought me back to life. You helped me remember that joy is still possible, even after heartbreak. So, thank you for being the voice that helped me heal, for being the music that helped me find my way back home. The words hung in the air, a silent, powerful confession. The crowd was a sea of stillness. Many in the audience wiped away tears. The security guards looked away, respecting the moment's privacy. Brian May, standing to the side, looked down at his guitar, his expression a mix of pride and profound sadness. Freddie Mercury, a man who had faced down stadium crowds with a cocky swagger and an untouchable aura, stood there, completely undone. He took a deep, shaky breath, and a single tear, then another, traced a path down his cheek, starkly visible under the bright stage lights. He didn't try to hide them. He didn't turn away. He let the vulnerability show.
He pulled Lily into a tight embrace, a hug that was both a thank you and a shared moment of grief. He held her for a long time, rocking her slightly as she sobbed into his shoulder. It was a silent conversation between two people who had just shared something truly profound. When he finally pulled back, his eyes were red, but there was a light in them. He took the microphone from her hand, his voice thick with emotion. "Lily," he said, his voice a low, raspy whisper that carried to every corner of the park. "Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with me, with us. I don't know what to say. We write these songs, we pour our hearts into them, and you just hope they reach someone. You hope they mean something." He looked out at the massive crowd, a silent army of witnesses, and tonight, Lily has shown me that they do, that they can heal, that they can help you find your way back home. He put an arm around her, and she leaned into him, her head resting on his shoulder. He looked at the piano on stage, then back at her. "He taught you to play, didn't he? Your brother." Lily nodded, a small, sad smile on her face. "Well then," Freddie said, a new energy coursing through him, "let's play one for him, shall we?" He led her to the piano and sat her down gently on the bench. He sat beside her, his fingers poised over the keys. He began to play the opening chords of Love of My Life. He looked at her, his eyes filled with warmth. "Go on, Lily," he said, encouraging her. "This is for Tom."
With shaky fingers, Lily began to play along with him, a tentative melody joining the powerful, familiar chords. Freddie started to sing, his voice a rich, powerful baritone that filled the stadium. The crowd, understanding the significance of the moment, sang with him, a chorus of 120,000 voices, all united in a single, beautiful tribute. It wasn't just a performance, it was a prayer, a farewell to a brother, a thank you to a hero, and a testament to the power of music to mend a broken heart. The song ended, and the crowd erupted, not in a thunderous cheer, but in a wave of sustained, heartfelt applause that seemed to go on forever. Freddie stood up, pulling Lily to her feet. He raised her hand in the air, a gesture of shared triumph. "Thank you, Lily," he said, his voice full of a gratitude that was deeper than words. "And thank you, Tom." Lily was helped off the stage, a changed woman. She had come to Knebworth to see her hero, but she had left having shared a sacred, unforgettable moment with him. Freddie stood on stage, a single, solitary figure, looking out at the crowd, the tears on his face now a symbol of connection, a testament to the power of a single story. And as the night continued and the music roared on, everyone in that park knew they had witnessed something extraordinary. They had seen the legendary Freddie Mercury, the king of Knebworth, shed a tear for a fan and her brother. They had seen that beneath the bravado, the showmanship, and the spectacle beat a heart that was as real and as fragile as their own. And in that moment, the magic wasn't in the music alone, but in the humanity that made it all possible. And now, as the curtain falls on this incredible story, I have to ask, what did you think? This is a truly unique story, isn't it? If you loved this journey into the heart of Freddie Mercury's legacy, please give this video a big thumbs up. It helps us bring more of these incredible stories to life. Also, don't forget to leave a comment below. What was the most emotional part of this story for you? And which Queen song means the most to you? Let me know. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on more stories that celebrate the timeless magic of Freddie and the music of Queen. Thanks for watching.